Hello everyone, this is Anuj from Gadget Kick. Samsung has finally jumped into the budget segment phones with the launch of Galaxy M20 and the M10. And today in this video, we will show you a detailed comparison between the Galaxy M20 and the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2, which falls in the same price segment. So let's start. Samsung Galaxy M20 and the Zenfone Max Pro M2 both are the budget segment phones which comes with a larger battery. Both the phones are priced around Rs 12,000 to 13,000 rupees. However, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is on offer these days under the Asus OMG sale on Flipkart. For more details, do check the link in the description below. So let's start the comparison between both the phones. First, let's talk about the design and the build quality. To be honest, the first thing that came into my mind when I looked at the M20, the design of the phone is not that attractive. The phone is made up of mainly plastic which is glossy, and I personally didn't like the flat design of the phone. On the other hand, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is made up of similar polycarbonate material with glossy back. But here at the back, we have this glass-like finish which looks better than the M20. The glass back finish on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 adds the premiumness to the phone. In terms of build quality, they are almost same and both the phone feels sturdy when you hold them in your hand. But you will notice that the M20 feels slightly heavier than the Max Pro M2, and that is mainly because of the 5000 mAh battery. Max Pro M2 also has the 5000 mAh battery, but it is around 10 to 15 grams lighter. In terms of other design feature, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is available in two color variant, which is blue and the newly launched titanium version, which looks really wonderful. And on the other hand, the M20 is available in charcoal black and ocean blue. So in terms of design and the build quality, I will give an advantage to the Zenfone Max Pro M2 here over the Galaxy M20. Now moving towards the display, for the first time Samsung has finally jumped into the notch displays, and we have a 6.3-inch Full HD Plus IPS display, which Samsung calls it Infinity V display. It has a dewdrop notch on the top, and about that we will talk in a minute. Now in the Zenfone Max Pro M2, we have a wider notch on the top. The screen size is same, which is 6.3 inches, and it also has a Full HD Plus display. Keeping the phone side by side, I must say here that the Samsung has done an amazing job, even though it's not AMOLED, but the color reproduction is close to it. On the other hand, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 screen is also pretty good, but not as good as the Samsung M20. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 screen comes with the latest Gorilla Glass 6 protection. And on the other hand, Samsung has a Dragon Trail glass which is also pretty good when it comes to protecting the screen from accidental scratches from keys and coins inside your pocket. So about the display performance, here without any doubt, the Samsung M20 is a winner here. Now about the notch, the dewdrop notch has its own advantages and disadvantages. You get more viewing area in it, but then you miss out some features in the phone such as no LED light for notification, which is present in the wider notch of the Zenfone Max Pro M2. And also, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has one more advantage, which is the front LED flashlight for selfie photos. Now let's move on to the hardware and performance. The Zenfone Max Pro M2 is powered by a Qualcomm 660 processor coupled with Adreno 512 GPU. You have the 3, 4 and 6GB RAM variant with the internal storage option of 32 and 64GB. You get a dedicated slot for microSD card which it supports up to 2TB. On the other hand, the Galaxy M20 is powered by Exynos 7 Series 7904 processor with 3 and 4GB RAM variant. The storage option is also 32 and 64GB, and like the Zenfone Max Pro M2, you get a dedicated slot for microSD card which it supports up to 512GB. We have the 4GB RAM variant of both the phone here, and when we did the benchmark on both the phones, in the AnTuTu benchmark, we got a score of around 1,30,000 for the Zenfone Max Pro M2 and around 1,10,000 for the Galaxy M20. And in the Geekbench 4, we can see that here also the score is higher of the Zenfone Max Pro M2. And these are not just numbers, when we tested both the phones, we noticed that the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is far better when it comes to the performance. There were no lags at all in handling day-to-day tasks. But the Samsung Galaxy M20 has some issues and there were few frame drops and animation lags here and there. Similar thing we noticed when we did the gaming test. Max Pro M2 was able to manage PUBG Mobile without any issues. And in the highest available settings as well, there were no lags and stutter. The game was smooth and the gaming experience was very good. And on the other hand, the Samsung Galaxy M20 was sluggish when it comes to playing PUBG Mobile on its available highest setting. And guys, we have done a detailed gaming review of the Galaxy M20 and the Zenfone Max Pro M2, and if you wanna see that, then do check the video link in the description below. So about the performance and gaming, Zenfone Max Pro M2 is a clear winner here. And guys, if you're planning to buy any of these phones for gaming purpose, then we do not recommend you to buy the M20. First reason, as we said earlier, that the performance is not very good. and we also noticed some heating issues with the phone. But the Zenfone Max Pro M2 doesn't have any such issues while gaming. Both the phones have Widevine L1 certification and can stream in HD, which is again a good thing in both the phones. Now let's talk about the OS. The M20 comes with the Samsung Experience 9.5, which is running on the Android Oreo 8.1. Unlike the flagship phones of Samsung, which now offering One UI, this phone is still running on the Samsung Experience 9.5. On the other hand, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is running on the Android Oreo 8.1 under the Zen UI. It looks and feels almost like stock Android, and the user experience here is better when it comes to the OS performance. I have to mention one thing here, that the Samsung phones tend to get slow over time. I have used different Samsung phones in past, including the flagship phones such as the S8 Plus and the Note 9, and I noticed that there is occasional lags here and there after a few months. So we will have to see how the M20 performs after 1 or 2 months. Now lastly, about the software updates, Samsung is pretty lazy when it comes to pushing the software updates. Even in my Note 9, which is the flagship phone from Samsung, I recently got the Pi update, so I'm not sure when it will be available in the M20. And on the other hand, the Android Pie update is just knocking on the door for the Zenfone Max Pro M2, as the beta version of the Android Pie is already rolling out. Now let's talk about the camera performance. Both the phone comes with a rear dual camera setup. The primary lens on the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is a 12MP Sony IM486, which has an aperture of f1.8. The secondary camera is a 5MP for depth sensing. And on the other hand, we get the 13MP plus 5MP rear camera setup on the M20. And here we get the f1.9 aperture on the primary lens. The 5MP secondary camera is for the ultra wide photos. Here are few pictures we have taken from both the phones. The pictures clicked from the Zenfone Max Pro M2 has more details, and they are sharp, and the color output is also pretty good. On the other hand, the M20 pictures are good as well, provided there is enough light. But here, the M20 has an advantage, which is the ultra wide mode. It looks really good, and with this, you can easily capture amazing ultra wide photos. Both the phones support portrait mode, and in Samsung, it's the live focus mode. The bokeh effect, however, is better in the Zenfone Max Pro M2 than the M20, where some pictures in live focus came out pretty overexposed, and you cannot change the exposure while in the live focus mode. Here are few low light pictures. The performance is average in both the phones, which we have seen in this price range. Talking about the front camera performance, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 performs better and offers lot more details than the M20 in both day and night time. The pictures taken from the M20, I noticed even with the beauty mode turned off, it was applying some sort of beauty effect on the photos. So overall in terms of camera, I find the Zenfone Max Pro M2 camera performance pretty good than the Galaxy M20. M20 for sure has an ultra wide mode, which is an advantage over the Zenfone Max Pro M2, but still the overall camera performance of the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is better than the Galaxy M20. Now let's talk about the battery performance. Both the phone is powered by massive 5000 mAh battery, and you can easily get 2 days of battery backup from both the phones. And during our testing, we noticed that with the heavy usage, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 was able to give us slightly better battery backup than the Galaxy M20. But here the Galaxy M20 has an advantage with the Type-C USB port and the 15W fast charger. On the other hand, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 comes with a standard 10W charger, and because of that, the charging time is less in the Galaxy M20. And lastly, let's talk about the security features. Both the phone comes with a fingerprint sensor and has the face unlock. The fingerprint sensor is fast in both the phones, but there is a software lag when it comes to unlocking the phone. The face unlock feature in the M20 I would say is pretty bad. We were able to unlock the phone even with the photo and closed eyes, which was not the case with the Zenfone Max Pro M2. So to sum it up, it's a nice welcome change by Samsung to bring the budget smartphone lineup with the Galaxy M20 and M10. The display looks awesome and the battery performance is also pretty good. I was surprised and happy with the wide-angle shots taken from the M20. But on the other hand, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is there with us for quite some time, and the phone did not disappoint us, be it performance, updates, and even the design is better than the M20. The camera output is slightly better as well when we compare it with the M20. Talking about the Galaxy M20, the Infinity V display is without any doubt offers amazing performance. And how can we forget the 15W fast charger? But overall we think that the Samsung has done a good job, but the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is better in many aspects. And keeping in mind all that, the Zenfone Max Pro M2 is our winner of this comparison. So that's it guys, this was a detailed comparison between the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 and the Samsung Galaxy M20. Let us know if you agree to the points which we have covered in this video, and also do tell us which phone you like more in the comment section below. So that's all for now. If you like this video, then please press the like button and subscribe to our channel Gadget Geek for more videos like this. Once again, this is Anuj signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.